Hello, I'm going to show you how to use Google Slides to create a graphic organizer. The benefit of Google Slides is many. One, it's a free program. Two, it allows for the incorporation of many different interactive elements such as links to other pages, photographs, videos, and other links. I recommend creating a slide that has just a title, and in this case I put George Washington as the title and the rest of the page being blank. I'm going to go to Insert, and now I'm going to insert shapes. I'm going to begin with my first shape, which is going to be the subject of my graphic organizer. In this case, George Washington. You can move this around wherever you want on the page. You can see that you do get the alignment guides for both horizontal and vertical if you want to put it directly in the center of the page. I'm going to move mine down just a little bit. You can also adjust the size of each of your boxes from any of the corners. You can also highlight your text and do any amount of changes to that, from font size to bold. So here I've got George Washington. I'm going to go ahead and center that text. And I'm going to slide it over just a little bit. Then again, from either using Insert, Shapes, or you'll see up here in the toolbar, there's a Shapes button, and now I'm going to insert a shape to be one of the topics, coming off of my main subject of George Washington. I'm just going to click and drag and make the box whatever size I would like. In this box, I'm going to type about his birth. And as I think about that, I can move my box over. Again, just like normal, I could use a line and just link those two together. I can center the text, adjust the size, and anything else I'd like to do. And then off of birth as one of the subheadings or subjects below George Washington, I'm going to insert, in this case the other way, I'm going to insert another shape. This time I'm going to stick with the circle, and I'm going to draw one over here. And this time this is going to be about his childhood. And with this, I'm going to again use the line, just link this to my main subject, just like that. And then I'm going to insert another shape. And this time I'm going to pick a different shape since this is going to be a subheading under childhood, or a sub-idea. Let's go with a circle. So under childhood, I'm going to draw a circle. And I'm going to move that over just a little bit. And in this circle, I'm going to type where he lived. And I'm going to adjust my font size. I'm going to draw a line to connect it to childhood. And now I've got at least one area I know under childhood I need to look at. Under birth, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add another subtopic. I'm going to insert a shape, and again, this time I'm going to use a circle. And here, in this one, I'm going to put parents. So who were George Washington's parents? That is something I will need to look up and gain some information on. And I'm going to adjust the size so that parents fits. And I'm going to insert a line to connect it to birth. So you can see the starts of a graphic organizer, and you could add many other topics here. We could add topics on his marriage and family, being an entrepreneur at Mount Vernon, the Revolutionary War, the Constitutional Convention, being the first president, or his final years of life. We could add those all in here as a graphic organizer and continue building out our organizer. Google Slides gives us some other advantages. There's some other things we could add in. Let's say as I'm putting this organizer together and I've got some information, let's go with birth. Maybe I want to link to a website where I know I've got some information about his birth. So I'm going to highlight the text I want, and I've already got a website that I want to use, so I'm going to copy that web address and then come back to my presentation. And in this case, I'm going to insert now a link, and I'm going to paste in the link and apply it. So I can see that it's taken the link because it's now underlined. Another option I have is I can add or insert a photograph or a picture. So in this case, I go Insert, and I'm going to come down to Image. And I have these options again. This time I'm going to go to my search and use Google. And in this case, I'm going to type in George Washington. And it's going to give me a number of different options that I can pick from. And let's just go with this one right here. So we're going to select that, and it's going to insert that image. So in this case, you can see it's a bust of George Washington. So I can shrink that image down to a smaller size, and maybe this is one of the items that I'm going to attach to my timeline and link to it, off of George Washington to it. And I'm going to also add a text box. And in this case, maybe this is something I'm going to look up maybe on his legacy. Yeah, obviously, this being representative of his passing or something like that. The other thing I can do is maybe I found something on his childhood and want to bring that in, or I want to link to it. In this case, I'm going to insert a video. So maybe I found a video that talks about his childhood or gives me some of the information I might want to need, and I want to keep track of that or be able to go back to it. So you can do a video search on YouTube, or you can actually paste the YouTube URL if you have that. So in this case, I'm going to type in George Washington, and I'm going to put in childhood. See if it finds anything on his childhood. And here's some things about his childhood home. So maybe this is something I want to use. So in this case, it's selected, and it's going to insert that that video. So I'm going to shrink that down and move it over to the childhood side, and then I can link that with a line, graphic organizer. So as you can see, Google Slides gives you a lot of different options for a much more interactive, much more content-rich graphic organizer, where you can incorporate links to websites, where you can incorporate different videos and images that might fit with your graphic organizers you're trying to build out your ideas that you want to include in whatever the project or presentation might be about.